Okay, questions. I heard an interesting question today, so I decided I might as well go ahead and give the answer to it.
Why do women, instead of wearing more clothes, they wear less clothes when they say they're scared of what men may do to them?
I wrote his question down here so I can take a look at it and so we can understand it better. He said, why do women, instead of wearing more clothes, they wear less clothes when they said they are scared of what men may do to them? I think there's a little problem with his question because I highlighted here women, and I believe he's talking about women in general. He said women are scared. Must be talking about a certain type of woman or certain women, and we have to make sure that we understand that when he says women, it's not all women in general that have this issue. Anyway, so the next thing I noticed is that this was a very logic-based question, and I can see that he's probably thinking in an if-then type of way. He's thinking if women are doing something and it's causing a certain problem, then they should stop doing it so they don't have the problem. This is probably why people say men are logic-based and have a hard time understanding women. Because maybe he's thinking in a men's type of way. So I suppose he would like a logic-based answer. But it's not so simple. First, we need to understand right off the bat that behavior is communication. Whether a person is consciously, willfully doing something or unconsciously doing it, the person is expressing something. They're saying something by their actions. The act of dressing in skimpy clothing is saying something. Next, we need to understand that behavior is very interconnected with thoughts and feelings. Look here at this chart. It's called a cognitive triangle. Behavior is heavily influenced by thoughts and feelings, and thoughts and feelings are influenced by behavior. How does this work then? From a woman's point of view, when she's getting dressed, it's possible for a countless variety of thoughts to be going through a woman's head when she's making the choices she makes. Let's imagine that she's thinking about her ex-boyfriend in this picture here. She might be thinking, he manipulated me and wasted the last 3 years of my life. I'm glad it's over though, and now I'm single, sexy, and free. What feeling goes along with this thought though? Let's say liberated. The behavior, the action of dressing in the skimpy outfit, will match this thought and feeling. Nowhere in the thought process of this individual, from my example, is the fear of men. All you're going to see is something like this right here with less clothes being worn. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I have heard women say many times something like they are not always even thinking about men when they get dressed and put on all the makeup and stuff that they have on. It really does depend on each individual. Sure, we could say that women as a group should pay more attention to the social impact their choice of clothing has on men, but that's branching into a whole other conversation. Let's take another woman, for example. She might be thinking in the process of getting dressed, I like the way people watch me when I wear this skimpy outfit. Maybe we can say she might feel excited. She gets a rush from the attention that she gets when she's walking down the street. So she is looking forward to wearing this revealing clothing. Her behavior will reflect this as she chooses to barely wear anything. It's possible for the desire or attention that I just used as an example to override any logical fear that she might have. I just said she is doing it for a rush, excitement, and joy. Once again, all you're going to see maybe is something like this. Now, I don't see men do this kind of thing that much. Maybe men do it in other ways, but if not, then this thought process might be hard to understand. Finally, let's imagine that there is a traumatized woman. Maybe she had been abused or molested, It's usually traumatized people that are living in all kinds of fear anyway, based on their own bad memories or terrible things that they witnessed happening to other people. The worst case scenario, it might be somebody who has been living in a real life Color Purple movie and they managed to escape, right? But let's imagine now that you have somebody like this and it's a lady who's living in fear, so she could be thinking it's not safe out there and she wants to run from the past, but she is addicted to dysfunction and abuse. She feels bored with normalcy and desires attention, even if it is negative. She may just put on less clothes and seek out the type of trauma that she just came from. Maybe she's comfortable with being objectified, and she would go right back to another situation where she's getting the wrong types of attention from the wrong types of people. The truth is that thoughts and feelings are very complex and don't always make sense, especially if a person has problems. Have you ever seen the movie Forrest Gump? If not, watch the movie and pay attention to Jenny, who's a traumatized woman. Why is she wearing less clothes? Though wearing less clothes does not benefit her, and she gets poor treatment from men. So, these are 3 examples of the same behavior for different reasons. There are countless thoughts and related feelings that might motivate the behavior and choices of women when they are getting dressed. And this varies for every individual woman. And yes, some choices don't even make sense and produce bad results. But that doesn't stop people from doing these things. I hope this helps. And I hope that I thoroughly answered this question.